It's MindWare week! All week long, we're gonna be posting videos that MindWare sent us. We're gonna be playing some MindWare games. But I thought we could start the whole week off with an interview with the Director of Sales at MindWare, one Angela Holmstrom, and she is a delight. All right, we are here with Angela Holmstrom from MindWare. She is the Director of Sales. Thank you so much, Angela, for sitting down with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We're gonna jump right in. So tell me, what is MindWare? Like bird's eye view, what is MindWare?
MindWare is a company that develops and produces, sells fantastic family games, but also creative activities and building science, kind of you name it. Everything that we develop has some unique educational value to it. And we always kind of like to say, you know, families are having fun and learning accidentally. So that would be my bird's eye view.
Fantastic. And I gotta say, looking through your line of products, you definitely have more of a focus on the younger skewing demographics. My children personally, MindWare owns Peaceable Kingdom, which my kids love Peaceable Kingdom games, as does my wife. She's the one who keeps buying them, and then
Good.
my kids love them.
I think that's one thing that maybe a lot of people don't realize is that we have the MindWare brand, which was created, way back in 1990, and has all of these wonderful games and activities for families. Primarily, the focus is from 6 years old and up. So, like, just when your child's into school and they do know how to follow directions and listen and kind of play together.
Yeah.
You can start there, and a lot of our stuff is great from that age, but also as children age up. So that's kind of the MindWare brand. But we did acquire the Peaceable Kingdom brand, and that focuses a lot on cooperative play. So it's not competitive. It's starting with children at 2 years old. And getting them to learn how to play together and together or lose.
Yeah.
So there's kind of two different audiences there, if you will.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mentioned this to you before I started recording, but my children, I've got 3 kids, and the 5-year-old and the 8-year-old, I mean, for years now, the very first board game that they got that they could play was Count Your Chickens. And they adored it. They played it. We lost so many little chicken pieces.
I bet.
And then, but we'd still play it though, even with the missing ones. We even kind of made a few extras just in case, And then we got Hoot Owl Hoot, and now that is just the main event for them. They love Hoot Owl Hoot, and we love it because it's cooperative, and we get to all play together, and we all get to win together. I've got 3 boys. Sometimes they can be a bit competitive.
Yeah.
Just a touch. So having these games that are cooperative it's incredible for us. We love it.
Good.
So
yeah, it's always fun to see young children figure out how they can help each other. And I think it's really cool for parents or even grandparents to be able to see that happen.
Yeah.
And that's when I say you're learning accident, having fun. That's it.
Yeah. Accidental learning. It's great.
Really good to hear.
Okay, so tell me a bit about you started to get into it a little bit. Company MindWare started back in 1990. How did it all begin? How did the
I'll kind of make it somewhat brief, but a woman by the name of Jeannie Boyd started the company. And she really had children's learning in mind and outside the classroom. How can I help children feel compelled to help children learn outside the classroom? So how can we do this and make it fun, right? Without kids thinking, oh, I got it. Now my mom wants me to learn math or work on math skills. It's her thought was, how can I enhance that learning in the family setting? And so, it started with really like brain teaser books and turned into games, and over the years turned into building and science and creative activities. So Yeah, and then like I said, we purchased the Peaceful Kingdom brand, and that was really complementary to what
Yeah.
had been built over the years. It really started as a direct mail company directly to families at home, consumers.
Oh wow.
And we still mail a catalog to millions of consumers every year. And a lot of that business comes, of course, in Q4.
Oh yeah.
But we also do a lot of business with the school. So in addition to us working with wonderful retailers all over, the United States and actually worldwide, we do still sell directly to consumers at home.
That's great.
So yeah, it just grew over the years, and we still develop so many products every year based on what we see sells and what we hear from our customers and retailers. And yeah, we freshen up the line every year. So
I love
lots
it.
of new products every Christmas holiday. Oh.
Fantastic. So I gotta ask you, how did you land in this industry? I mean, it can be a bit of a niche kind of category. So how did you land in the games and toys world?
It's it's funny, right? Because we say, oh, the toy industry is so big, but it's really not. It's a
Yeah.
small group, of people. I actually was in product development or in sales for years with a product, or excuse me, a company that develops products kind of celebrating life events.
Okay.
Really working with the mass market. But over my years, had met other folks, and you always keep those relationships when you go from one company to the next. And I ended up here based on a relationship that I had at a previous company back in 2009. And it was a perfect fit for me. I had sales, I'd had product development, didn't necessarily ever have much in the toy industry or even closely related.
Yeah.
My background was with the um, schools and like stationery and party goods.
Yeah.
But came here and it was a nice fit. I love this industry. And yeah, it even though it's a big dollar industry, it's a small group of people and you get to know them well and develop such great friendships. And even though you're competitive, there's a lot you still learn from each other and to learn at each
Absolutely.
other for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been here since 2009, um, primarily driving sales in the wholesale business with retailers. So,
Fantastic. Fantastic.
yeah.
Do you play board games very often?
So
Or
that's always a good question. I'm a more of a family gamer, right? So I don't necessarily get into. I see some of the games behind you, so
yeah.
I don't necessarily get into some of those. But definitely the family games that can involve different age ranges, I really like.
Absolutely. Like the kind
Yeah,
of
and that
fun.
don't have a ton of instructions.
Yeah.
That's
The ones
where
that you
that's
can
where
pick up and go and
exactly
yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely. I love those games too. I mean, I got, these are more like strategy games, which
Right.
give me a night with my friends and I'll absolutely eat up a strategy game.
Yeah.
But I got three kids. When do I get a night with all my friends to play
Doesn't
board
happen very
games?
often. Not for a
It
while
doesn't.
anyway. I hate to tell you that.
Exactly, exactly. So I love those quick, party games or even family games I can play with the kids or party games I can play with my wife and a friend or two if they get to come over. But
Right.
but yeah, those
I'm
are
as they say,
fantastic.
the casual gamer.
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a casual gamer as long as you're gaming. Like
Right.
that's the way I see it. There's
Yeah.
a large swath of different games to play, especially these days. As
There definitely is. And I'm learning so much more about that every year when I go to Essen or Gen Con. This last spring I was at the UK Games Expo and it's like, wow, just different worlds, even within the game industry. So
absolutely,
yeah, it's pretty interesting
it's
to
incredible.
learn
It
about.
really is. I heard through the grapevine that Mindware might be putting out some strategy games and stuff pretty soon. I don't know how much on that you can talk about.
Well, we do come out with new games every year,
Yes.
sometimes multiple. But this year at Gen Con, we're actually launching our first cooperative legacy game.
Oh,
Did
okay,
you know that?
okay.
Did
I
you know
did
that?
not know that. I did not know
Okay.
that.
Okay. So
Let's get
super
the
cool. We're
tea.
very excited. The game was developed with Matt Leacock and Rob Davio.
Okay.
The artwork was done by Corey Godby. And if you know anything about gaming, those are three pretty big names.
Yeah.
So we've been working on this for quite some time. It is for ages 8 and up. It'll
Okay.
be a $39.99 retail, which is great if you look at legacy
Yeah.
games, and
Oh yeah.
especially, yeah, cooperative legacy games are not a ton of, but so we're super excited about that. We'll release it at Gen Con, and we should have it in the market by 9/1. That's
That's
our
the
big game
big
for the
that's the
season.
big release. Well, I'm
Yeah,
excited. Do you
yeah.
have a name for it, or are we holding that
Ziggurat.
tight-lipped? Ziggurat?
Ziggurat. Yep. If you
Ziggurat.
take a
All right.
little look-see on BGG, you'll get
Yeah.
a little bit of a heads up on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. So if you hear that, go check it out
Right.
and take a look. I'm excited. I'm excited to play it.
And you
I
know
bet
what?
we're
Yeah, you can play with your two older children. I think
exactly.
even you said the middle one was 5. I think that because it's cooperative, you can all play together. It'll be fun.
Exactly. He can pick up what we're doing and yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
With reference to that, but also all of your games, how does your design process work? How do you go about choosing which games you're going to build from the ground up, which ones you're going to acquire from other companies? What's your process look like over there?
So generally, our process is meeting at different events throughout the year with game developers all over. It's rare that we
Absolutely.
would buy a title from someone.
Okay.
Usually what happens is we'll meet with developers like Matt or Rob all over the world and take a look at what they have to offer. Does it fit kind of the age range, right, that we
Yeah.
specialize in, whether it's PK or it's Mindware? Does it have learning in it that we feel good about? What else is in the market? And is it unique? And then if we feel really good about it, we'll take it on and start testing it. And we do a ton of game testing with our folks here. If it's a younger age, we are connected with schools and daycares where we do a lot of testing. If
Oh,
it's
that's
older,
great.
we're connected with a lot of schools and or families. So yeah, I mean, we really take submissions, if you will,
Yeah.
from a lot of game developers and just try to decide if it really fits within our filters, if you will,
Yeah.
of product that makes sense for Mindware. And
Absolutely.
that can take 6 months. It can take 18 months. It just depends on what it is. Sometimes we sit on a submission and just continue to test it and
Yeah.
say, okay, yep, I think we got it. Or we decide, you know what, after all this time, maybe it's just not right. We're not 100%.
Yeah.
So everyone is a little bit different, but it all starts with really great developers from all over.
I'm interested in when you play test with the different like schools and daycares you said, how does that process work? Like do you go in like does your company go in there and say, here's some board games, let's watch you play? Or is it like you send them out to teachers and then they're like, give us some feedback? Or how does that process work?
A lot of the time we have our development team, our product development team will witness it.
Okay.
And without saying too much, right?
Yeah.
Because they want
Yeah.
to really get good raw feedback.
Yeah.
Say, okay, today we're going to play a game and give them, like the parameters and the basic instructions, and let them kind of go at it, see
Yeah.
how they're playing with it, the questions they have, and then in the end get their feedback, right? Where did they get hung up?
Yeah.
Did they feel, a sense of accomplishment? All of the things, right, that you want to make sure that you're accomplishing. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we try to witness as much as we can firsthand.
That's great. I feel like that's got to be a fun day for the kids when they see like the board game people walk in the door and they're like, "Oh, it's a
Yeah.
board game day."
Yep, and you know what? It's fun for our team too.
Oh yeah.
We do have some really good relationships with local retailers too, and sometimes we get the opportunity to go out and demo stuff in their stores or test stuff in their
Ooh.
stores.
Nice, nice.
And that's really fun too, because then you never know who you're getting, what age
Yeah.
group, what combination of children or family that you're going to see. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, and our team will come back and just be like, oh, you're not going to believe the kids were so excited. Here's what they said, or here's where we think we can make an improvement. Yeah, it's always really good to have it firsthand.
So how long, Angela, have you been at the company then?
Since 2009.
Since 2009. So you've been there for a
I
minute
have
now,
been here.
15
Yeah,
years.
a lot
That's
of
great.
growth. Yep, a lot of
Uh,
growth. And it was great because my children were young when I first started here too. So I got to,
yeah.
just like you, right? Got to play
Yeah, oh,
all the
yeah.
games or test things with them.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, really great experience.
So in that 15 years, what would you say you're most proud of?
That's a big question. Um, I think I'm proud of the standards that we have, the high standards in quality of our product and how we manufacture it. We would never claim to be the least expensive bargain game place, right? That's
Yeah.
just not who we are. We have high expectations for quality, and want to make sure that we deliver that to our customers. But also just like the uniqueness of what we develop.
Yeah.
We want to be incremental to somebody's game collection. So I think
Absolutely. Yeah.
those two things are super important for us, and as a team here, we all value that.
That's great. That's fantastic. Okay, so I won't take up too much more of your time. Are there any interesting anecdotes of your time in the board game and industry or anything, or the hobby industry? It's okay if you can't think of anything.
I don't
That's just
know. I
like,
think it's just, like I said before, we've had games. I've been here so long,
yeah,
since 2009, but just in the last few years, we've really focused on games, and primarily because um, we find great success even outside the US. And when you have worldwide
yeah,
success with game or titles, gosh, it's just such a rush and a thrill
yeah.
to see people
Oh,
enjoying them. So,
absolutely. I mean, especially, and especially with your, the Peaceful Kingdom games and stuff like that. There's not like a whole lot of reading and stuff, so it's perfect for the international market
it
because,
is.
they can get by. You don't have to like
The
reprint off
only
different
ex-
games. You just gotta get the
exactly.
instruction booklet in a different
Mhm.
language, and
Yep.
then you're good to
And
go.
usually, as you can imagine, you've seen Count Your Chickens and Hoot All Hoot. The instructions are not that great. You're talking
Yeah,
about young children. It's very basic. And then we
gotta
do
keep
like
it that way.
a parent guide. And so
Yeah,
that isn't a lot, you're right, of like localization
yeah.
for other countries or other languages. And yes, they're a very nice fit. And we do sell many of them worldwide.
Okay, so like I said, I don't want to take too much of your time left. I gotta know though, what's the future look like for Mindware?
I think it's pretty darn bright, Joe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think we can't possibly do everything that we want to do every year, you
of
know?
course,
Like
of course.
we've developed great relationships with developers and inventors of other product, and we can only do so much each year. But I think it's really pretty darn bright, so I'm
That's
excited.
that's great to hear. Angela, this has been an absolute pleasure. You're a wonderful person to chat with. The company is great. Like I said, when I was doing my research into what all falls under the Mindware umbrella, I'm just like, it was
It's
blowing my mind with
huge.
how much stuff that I had no idea was actually Mindware. Quirkle, right, is
Yep.
Mindware. That's a big one
Oracle,
that we
qubits, Pickwits, just
Qubits, yes.
yeah, rock paper switch, just so many. Yeah.
You guys, I just love your line. The whole line is great. So
Good. Well,
thank you,
thank you so
Angela.
much. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
Uh,
including me.
of
And
course, of course.
yeah, thanks again for your partnership.
Have a good one.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, did you like that video? Why not run down there and give it a little like? Or write in the comments what you liked about it. Better yet, you could hit this button right here to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all our fun videos. Speaking of those fun videos, you can click right here to watch some of them, huh? And if you're watching this on your phone and I'm just kind of doing this and there's no buttons over there, just use your imagination. Okay, bye, love you!